Episode 1. The Brightest Star in Uruk. Thousands of years ago, Atlantis, the scene of a titanic battle between the forces of light and darkness. Destructive pulses of radioactive energy engulfed this star-connected island. But the wisdom of the connection between life and death remained intact. Enlightened alchemists left just before the island sank to rebuild the world while preserving the ancient secrets. Now knowledge was secret and limited. The chief alchemist of Sumer stood at the top of the ziggurat, a temple tower dedicated to Anu, the lord of the constellations, the sky. His eyes were fixed on Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. Behind him, his assistant alchemists held emerald tablets engraved with ancient knowledge. The alchemist knew that the secret of the time of rebirth and the activation of the most powerful energy had to be kept well. The brightest star was reflected from the emerald tablets representing the ruling class, and the eternal story of life and death began. Emerald, a precious stone that is also used as a gemstone, which is a silicate of beryllium and aluminum. The element beryllium, found in the Beryl mineral that forms emerald, is a rare element in the universe. It is an aviation material used in aircraft components, missiles, spacecraft, and satellites due to its structural properties. Beryl, which is a silicate of beryllium and aluminum, is well known among its varieties, including emerald and aquamarine stones. Beryl crystals are rare. Pure beryl is colorless but appears as green or blue due to impurities in it. Emerald represents nobility and wealth. The color of nature is grass green, fertility and abundance like Venus. Emerald symbolism includes not only royalty but also intelligence, eloquence, and foresight. It is also associated with the planet Mercury, which carries knowledge. A certain group within the administration regarded this precious stone as a sacred symbol, embodying the knowledge of the spirit and eternity. The pentagram symbol on the emerald tablet in the alchemist's hand came to life in the light of Sirius. Sirius was more than a distant star. Identified with Uranus, Anu was seen as the reigning messenger on Earth of the great omnipresent spirit. In alchemy and esoteric traditions, the star pentagram represents the basic components of the universe and the harmony of these components with each other. The five-pointed star represents the four basic elements and, above them, the etheric spirit, quinta essentia, that unites all things. Earth, stability, the physical world and matter. Water, emotions, fluidity, and the source of life. Fire, passion, energy, and the power of transformation. Air, thought, communication, and knowledge. Etheric spirit, ether, cosmic consciousness, and abstract integrative power. The great work, magnum opus, is realized by the coming together of the 5 elements. This process is completed by the purification of the raw material, prima materia, and its transformation into the Philosopher's Stone. The Philosopher's Stone symbolizes awareness, the meaning of death, immortality, and unlimited knowledge. The star Sirius appeared as a single light when viewed with the naked eye in the heart of the Dog constellation. Although the cluster, consisting of the Alpha and Beta teams, was slightly larger than the Sun in terms of mass and 8.6 light-years away, it was tens of times more luminous than the Sun. The star, which can be easily seen from every location on Earth, means burning and scorching. In an instant, the star's brilliance intensified to a dazzling radiance. The alchemist was on the verge of entering the temple, the sacred ground where the eternal cycle of death and life was first imparted to humanity. The alchemist's ancestors, who had fled the downfall of Atlantis, had chosen Göbeklitepe as the new cradle of civilization. Located in Sanliurfa, Anatolia, has a history of 12,000 years. A room with 12 columns in a T-shape connected by stone walls made of limestone aligned in a circle. And in the middle of these, 2 separate megalithic columns standing opposite each other, higher than them and weighing 16 tons. There are dozens of these rooms around. These chambers served as sanctuaries for death and rebirth rituals. Just 10 meters ahead, near the sacred tree atop the hill, lies the motif of the birthing woman. The carvings of human-like hands and arms suggest that the pillars were abstract representations of humans rather than depictions of the people of that era. Yet, the world's oldest human-shaped statue, the Urfa man, with its black obsidian eyes, is found in this region, at Göbeklitepe and Urfa. Obsidian is a natural volcanic glass. It consists of 70% silica oxide. It forms when lava cools rapidly. Since the cooling process is very fast, it is a shiny stone without a crystal structure. Although its color is black, elements such as iron and magnesium affect the color tones. It is brittle, but its sharpened side is very sharp. Obsidian balances the energy in a spiritual sense, strengthens the connection with the physical and spiritual world. It is known as a powerful psychic protection stone. It provides mental clarity in meditation. It provides a deep awareness in revealing the truth from among the dark lies. This is the oldest temple in the world. It is a site 7,000 years older than the Egyptian pyramids. The wheel had not yet been invented. Animals had not been domesticated, and writing had not yet been discovered. It was carved with limestone, flint, and obsidian stone. Black obsidian daggers, which are 7 times sharper than a scalpel when sharpened correctly, were used. It is obvious that in order to build this temple and continue the rituals, an agricultural society had been adopted. how are these engineering works carried out in this primitive age? In these thousand-year-long traditions, they built rooms on top of each other to create an artificial hill in the shape of a belly. And interestingly enough, they buried their temples. The alchemist stood between two large T-pillars in the center. There was an emerald skull in the area. At that time, in the burial customs, the person's body was removed after it turned into bones underground and the skull was hidden. Obsidian and emerald stones were with him. The light of Sirius reflected off the stones and pillars, transforming into a radiant portal, the threshold between death and rebirth. Sirius's light illuminated the mysteries of death, casting its brilliance upon the unknown. In that moment, the cold silence of death shifted into a resonant sound. Darkness dissolved, giving way to a profound sense of peace. The chief alchemist of Sumer was sitting in the ziggurat in Uruk. He opened his eyes. He had aged. He held an emerald in one hand and an obsidian in the other. Death had reshaped itself in his heart and mind. The alchemist was prepared for a new journey. He felt rejuvenated, as if he had become a young and powerful ruler once more. This time, he immersed himself in the Epic of Gilgamesh, exploring the warrior hero king's relentless quest for the meaning of life. His pursuit of immortality, and the profound duality of his inner spiritual struggle and outward physical battles. Gilgamesh, the ruler of Uruk, the oldest Sumerian city-state nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, was a king of celestial genetic lineage, yet he was not immortal. During his reign, the city flourished immensely. Gilgamesh transformed Uruk into a prosperous hub by constructing intricate canals to tame the wild rivers, providing water for fertile lands. He introduced agriculture and domesticated wild animals, turning Uruk into a paradise of abundance and progress. Perhaps all these achievements were his way of defying death or ensuring his name would echo long after his demise. Despite his unparalleled success and power, the shadow of mortality haunted him relentlessly. The weight of death's inevitability lingered in his mind for years, until he embarked on a journey of self-discovery, ultimately grasping the profound essence of immortality.